Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're exploring a really fascinating idea. What if the universe isn't random? What if, underneath it all, there's a hidden set of rules, universal laws that shape our everyday lives? The text we're looking at really kicks things off with this powerful statement. The idea is, just like science discovered laws for physics, maybe there are laws for life itself. It's a huge shift from thinking life is just chaotic to seeing it as this intricate, perfectly ordered system. So that's the big question we're digging into. What if all the ups and downs, the things that seem to happen by chance, aren't just a cosmic lottery? What if they're actually the result of specific, understandable principles that are always at play? All right, first things first. Let's really nail down the core idea here. It's about moving past concepts like luck or accidents and considering a pretty radical alternative.
This is the foundational belief presented in the source. From our limited perspective, something might look like a total accident. But the argument is that if you could zoom out and see the whole picture, you'd realize it was a perfect, lawful event. Every single thing, from the smallest personal moment to a huge cosmic event, is part of one coherent, purposeful system. Nothing is ever out of place.
Now, before we go any deeper, we've got to get our definitions straight. The text makes a really important distinction between the laws that run the universe and the kinds of rules that we humans create for ourselves. Okay, so let's break this down. On one hand, you have universal laws. You can think of these as the operating system of reality itself. They're permanent, they are unchangeable. On the other hand, you've got the laws of men. These are our legal systems, our social rules. They're useful, for sure, but they're temporary, and they change all the time depending on where and when you are. For the rest of this explainer, we're focusing on those big, unchanging universal laws. So what are these universal laws exactly? Well, it's not just some random shopping list of ideas. The source presents them as a totally interconnected system, a hierarchy where each law actually builds on the one before it. And here they are, these 7 big ones that the text lays out. You can see they go all the way from the law of nature at the bottom to the law of love at the very top. We don't have time to break down all 7 today, but to really get how the system clicks together, we're going to look at a few key examples from the bottom, the middle, and the absolute peak. And this is a brilliant way to visualize how they all fit together. It's a pyramid of influence. The higher, more subtle laws are always acting on the lower, more physical ones. And to really understand this map, the source suggests we start at the foundation and work our way up. So right at the base of the pyramid, we have the law of nature. This is the one we can all see every day. It's the law of the physical world. It governs the cycles of birth, growth, decay, and death that happen to absolutely everything in the material world. It's simple, but it's fundamental. Okay, moving up a level, we get to the law of harmony. This is the principle that is constantly pushing everything towards a state of balance. Think about an ecosystem, or how day and night are always in equilibrium. The text says this law is what creates those strange synchronicities in our lives and allows all these different, diverse things to come together and form a functioning whole. And then we get to the very top, at the absolute peak of the pyramid, the source from which all the other laws flow. We find the law of love. And in this philosophy, love isn't just an emotion. It's the fundamental creative force of the entire universe. It's the why behind every single thing that happens and the energy that holds the whole system together. So, we have this incredible map of universal laws. But what's the point? Why does knowing all this actually matter in our daily lives? Let's get to the so what of it all. And this right here is the crucial takeaway. The argument is that understanding this system can fundamentally change our relationship with suffering. When you start to see that every event, even the really painful ones, is happening within a perfect system and for a purpose, you can start to let go of the struggle against reality. To make this idea super practical, the text shares this simple but profound story about a master and his student. The student is all confused, asking, "How do I know if I'm living in harmony with the law?" And the master's answer is just brilliant. This is the first half of the lesson, and it's all about radical acceptance. The master basically says, look, everything that is currently in your life, your situation, your challenges, the good stuff, the bad stuff, it's all there because you need it. It's the perfect curriculum for your own growth.
And here's the flip side of that coin. The master explains that our suffering comes from wanting. It's the craving for all the things that are absent from our lives. That desire for what you don't have, he says, is the very thing that pulls you out of alignment with the way things are.
And that just leaves us with this final, really provocative question. It completely reframes our whole search for happiness. Maybe, according to this philosophy, peace isn't found out there chasing all the things we want. Maybe it's found right here, by learning to value and even want the very things that life has already given us. It's a simple idea, but it has the power to change, well, everything.